Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? I am super excited for this video because we're going to be testing out the new Adept Cosmetics, the Conjuring collection. I just thought it would be fun to try all the products out together and see if anything is worth picking up. So the collection does include an eyeshadow palette with some pretty cool packaging, and the color story is kind of like a cool toned, jewel toned moment. Super cute, so we will go ahead and swatch that and definitely do a look with it today. I also have two base products in the collection. Unfortunately, I think that they missed sending me one product because I have everything else here. The only thing I'm missing is a powder, which is the Sanctified Seal Setting Powder, and it looks really cool. I'll leave a picture on screen so you can see it. It's kind of like a mixture of black and white, but it is supposed to be completely translucent. But then they also have a primer here, which this is the Blood Drop Primer. It does say it's supposed to have a slightly tacky finish, so I'm very into that. I've been really reaching for my one size Hydrate the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer a ton, so I'm kind of curious to compare. We have the Music Box Highlighter, which this has a really cool little mirror. I am not a spooky girl like that. Like, I don't really love scary movies all that much, and I've seen Adept Cosmetics do a few different collections where I'm like, oh, that's really cool, but that's not quite me. And it's funny that they ended up reaching out to me for this one because The Conjuring is actually like my comfort scary movie. Like, I've seen it so many times that I'm not really like shocked by what's happening, and it doesn't make me feel anxious like a lot of scary movies. So I'm very into this collection. We also have some eyeliners here, and then we also have two different lipsticks in the collection. We've got a black and a red shade, and these are really cool. They do have, you know, that like slightly magnetic packaging, and then the actual lipstick. I'll insert a little video so you guys can see it closer up, but it does look really cool. It's one of those lipsticks where like I don't even want to use it. I just want to keep it as is and display it because it looks so cool. I'm just bracing myself because I don't know if any other creators have this experience, but every single time I post anything witchy, spooky, Halloween related, I always get comments that are like, this is blasphemous to God, this is witchcraft. I'm like, this is makeup. So let's go ahead and start off with the primer. You can see there's like little red capsules in here, but it says that they are supposed to dissolve. Just apply evenly. I'm just gonna let it sit for a second just to get a little bit tacky. Not me thinking that there's another capsule right here, but it's just acne. It has like just like that slightly grippy texture, but it's definitely not as intense as like the e.l.f. tacky primer or anything like that, which for me is a good thing because it's like a sensory issue. I really just don't like anything to be that sticky, even if it works. I'm gonna go into my NARS Light Reflecting Foundation in the shade Mont Blanc, just because I feel like I'm finally tan enough. It's like the summer is fully over. It just turned fall like 3 days ago, and I'm like, oh, I can finally wear my summer shade. Just gonna go ahead and tap that over top. Forgot how pretty this foundation is. And I feel like it's layering really well over the primer, but I will definitely have to just see how it lasts throughout the entire day. I'm gonna go to the gym after this, try to get in a 3-mile run. That's my goal for today. So I'll let you guys know. I go in with a little bit of the NARS concealer in Chantilly just to conceal and highlight underneath my eyes. There is a really light baby pink in the palette called Holy Light. I'm thinking I might try and use that like as a little bit of a blushing moment. It might be too pale, but I just thought I'd give it a chance. However, I think I'm just gonna go in with a powder first. I'm gonna go into the Bow from About Face, and I'm just gonna use just a little bit of that to set basically my T-zone. I have this tiny cutesy little blush brush from Refer. It's the 04. I really like using this when I'm using an eyeshadow as blush. I'm just gonna go into a little bit of Holy Light. Oh yeah. Okay, you know what? It is giving me a little pink moment. I don't know if it's gonna be as obvious on camera because I feel like my blush always looks more muted on camera. I feel like you could also use this as an under eye powder for like that cutesy pink look as well if you have a little bit more of a tan skin tone than I do. I'm not mad at that for just like something super subtle. For brows, I'm just gonna go into a little bit of brow wax. This is running out. I really need to go to Ulta and grab a new one, but I'm just gonna make do. Let's try out the Music Box highlighter. It just looks like a really pale white, but it definitely has a little bit of a golden reflect and actually a pink reflect too, Wow, it's really pretty. It's definitely a cute little multi-chrome moment. Honestly, it's pretty sparkly, so I would keep that in mind. If you like a sparkly highlighter, you might like this, but if you're not into it, for me personally, I have not been as into sparkly cheeks, so I think this might be more of like an inner corner type shade, but I'm gonna give it a try today. I'm gonna go in with my Singe Beauty F07 to apply it, just to keep it pretty targeted. Right on top here. Yeah, I feel like it is emphasizing my texture just a little bit. Really don't feel like it's pulling like a super bad gray cast by any means. Like, it looks pretty seamless on the skin. It's wearable still. And I mean that not in like crazy colors aren't wearable. I just feel like when you have really fair skin, if you try a multi-chrome highlighter and the base shade has too much like really dark gray or green tones to it, and you try to put it on your cheeks, then it just looks like a streak from the front, which I just don't prefer that look. Okay, but I think that's cute. Do we think it's cute? It's not even that bad when it comes to the sparkles. I might even go with a little more. I don't know, I keep staring at it. I'm like, yes, it has those sparkles. Yes, it adds a little bit of texture, but overall, I feel like it looks pretty smooth for what it is. So that's nice. Okay, now going into eyeshadow. I wanted to go ahead and swatch the palette for y'all really quick. I don't really have time to like do the overhead swatches and a full thing. You know, we're making it work, but I'll just go ahead and do some quick live swatches with y'all. The first shade we've got here is Conduit, which just looks like a really beautiful aubergine, kind of eggplant purple type shade. We've got Infestation, which is a deep cool tone brown. Super smooth mattes. I really like the Lethal formula. Evil's Whisper, a little bit more of like an indigo deep matte. And then we've got Clairvoyant, which is a multi-chrome with some green, some pink, some purple. Okay. Swatch looks a little bit drier, which is interesting because on my fingers and like touching the pan, they do not feel dry. They feel creamy. Next we have the Curse, which looks like a pretty cool tone, like bronzy shade, but it has little blue sparkles in it. That's really pretty, just like a nice, like smoky neutral. Oppression. I'm trying to decide how to describe this like tanny brown, but I just don't quite have the perfect description, but it is really pretty. It almost has like a little bit of like this green tone to it, but it's still very cool toned and muted. We've got Bathsheba, which is such a beautiful, kind of like a silvery gold metallic shade. Demonology, like a muted teal matte. We've got Holy Light, which is that really soft pink. Possession, definitely a little bit more of a silver metallic, but it has a purple flip to it as well. Salem, which is a soft tan matte. And then Occult Museum, which is a very soft gray. So like I said, I feel like this is a cool tone, jewel tone, muted color story. A little something different for a spooky collab. I feel like a lot of spooky palettes are very like black, red, gray. This is really pretty. I feel like you don't have to like The Conjuring to like this color story. While we're here, let's just swatch the eyeliners really quickly. I want to use one of these, but I'm scared. I feel like I'm just not good when it comes to liner. Oh wait, there's like a little stamp on the other side. I didn't even realize that. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay, so there's a stamp to do like a little star. And then on the other side, they do say to shake them well. The other side, you have the line. Okay, so we've got a star stamp. Could definitely see myself using that. We've got a little cross stamp. Okay. And then the line. They feel pretty good, very pigmented. We have the pentacle, the purple. That one looked really good. I don't know. I don't know how to go to the gym with that on my eyes, but I really want to. Okay, and then there's the purple. All right, very cool. I think I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more of the NARS concealer just to prime my eyes and do a little even base. I think I'm gonna start off with a little bit of the shade Salem through the crease as my transition shade, and I was just thinking of doing like a very soft neutral look just because that's what I have been gravitating towards. And I think I'm gonna go into a little bit of oppression on the outer V. Just kind of blending that in a little bit. Yeah, I feel like it's blending pretty good. Take a little bit of a smaller, more precise crease brush, and I'm gonna go into Infestation and just tap that right on the outer V as well, just deepening it a little bit further. Back in with the original brush and just blend over the edge. I don't know why I'm just kind of tempted to go in with just a little bit of the baby pink over the edge. Maybe I'll go in with Clairvoyant just because it's really pretty. And I'm gonna pop that on the outer half of my lid. Okay. Very, very sparkly. And then maybe I'll go in with just a little bit of Bathsheba on that inner part of the lid because that is so foiled. Okay, that's very pretty. I guess I should do something on my lower lash line, right? I've been neglecting my lower lash line. I think I'm gonna grab just a little tiny bit of this shade right here and just pop just a touch of purple on the outer half of the lower lash line. And then maybe I'll go in with a little bit of Occult Museum, the inner part. Just kind of blending that together. I think I actually really want to go in with the highlighter for my inner corner. I just think it'll be really pretty. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the Music Box highlighter and just tap it on right here. Believe it or not, I think this is probably the most interesting eyeshadow look I've done in months. So take it for what it is, you know? I think I'm gonna try the brown liner, even though I'm nervous. And I'm just gonna do like a very, oh my gosh, it's so pigmented. Okay, just doing a line very close to my lash line. I pretty much always use eyeshadow to line my lash line now, and that's what I'm used to. It's so much more muted. Didn't do an amazing job, but I tried my best, and I do feel like it is very pigmented, easy to go over eyeshadow. I'm gonna go into the Lancome Tot Idol mascara really quick and just coat my upper and lower lashes, and then we can try out the lipsticks. So we've got the shade Annabelle's Curse, which is a really, really deep red. Okay, it actually has some pretty strong pink undertones there. Looks really smooth and matte. Ugh, I hate swatching. I hate using it. It just looks so pretty. And then the other shade is called Phallic's Vengeance. Okay, which actually looks a little bit more like a gray. So let's just go ahead and try them both out. I'm gonna start off with the red. Very pigmented, very creamy. So there is Annabelle's Curse. Okay, next shade. This one is a little bit more sheer. For me, I feel like if I'm gonna go in with something like this, I prefer it to be more opaque. I like a true black lipstick. Alrighty, y'all, so there you have it. That is the full collection. Real quick thoughts. I feel like the eyeshadow palette is the standout to me. I really like the color story. I feel like the looks can be really fun, but also subtle, just depending on your style. The lipsticks to me are more of like display pieces. I don't see myself using these colors a ton, but they are fun. And I feel like if you're like here for the whole collection, seem to be good quality. As far as the primer goes, I feel like it did lay really nicely underneath my makeup, but I'm feeling like maybe this is just more of, if you want this like creepy, like supposed to look like blood inside primer, then it's worth it, but it's not necessarily like standing out as a product you need unless you're into the collection. Does that make sense? More of like the collaboration is really nice. The highlighter I'm actually really surprised by. I feel like it looks pretty smooth on the cheeks, all things considered. Has like a really pretty unique glow, and I think it's fun. think it's fun. And then the eyeliners, oh my gosh, the little stamps are so fun. I'm definitely going to be using those and playing around with them. I'll probably end up using the brown like star one the absolute most. I know I didn't do anything with it today, but I am gonna, I promise, I am gonna do something with these. I'm gonna do something fun. I am. Okay, so that's everything. Hope this video was helpful for y'all, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.